Nana si Engineer Abdul Ghani class.
Good evening, Doc. Present po.
Hi, good evening. Si Engineer Bulahan. Nana si Engineer Bulahan. Si Engineer Kaina.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Okay. Engineer Kuriba.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Good evening. Engineer Dela. Engineer Dela. Engineer Doliente. Engineer Doliente. Engineer Flor de Lisa. Engineer Lian Magto. Engineer Orabao.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Engineer Pasilius.
Good evening, Doc. Present po.
Good evening. Engineer Plaza.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Present.
Amy. Engineer Quirino. Engineer Quirino. Engineer Tagupa. Engineer Tailaran Nisel. 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 Are you there? Engineer Tuting.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Okay. How about Engineer Pandoles?
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Si Engineer Bobadilla. Mark.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir. Bobadilla, sir.
Okay. Engineer Carbonilla.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, sir.
Present po.
Yes. Si Engineer Carbonilla.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Engineer Dadoli.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Engineer Dinlasa.
Good evening, sir. Present and Naza, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Engineer Espinosa.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Engineer Gonzales.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Engineer Humanoy.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Engineer La Cuesta. Engineer Laila. Engineer Micah Lamberte.
Good evening, Doc. Present po.
Engineer La Roga. Engineer Madelo. Okay. Engineer Namokatkat.
Good evening, sir. Present.
Engineer Suaso.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Engineer Onabia. Engineer Onabia.
Good evening, sir. Present, sir.
Okay. Ang wala kay si Engineer La Cuesta. Engineer Laila. Og si Engineer La Roga. Okay. Balik ta sa A. Si Engineer Bulahan.
Good evening. Present.
Okay. Engineer Dela.
Dala, Doc. Present.
Engineer Doliente.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Engineer Flor de Lisa. Engineer Flor de Lisa. Engineer Lian Magto na.
Good evening, Doc. Present.
Evening. Engineer Quirino. Engineer Quirino. Okay. Engineer Tagupa.
Present, sir. Good evening.
Okay. Engineer Nisel Tailaran. Nisel. Nag-dinner sila na si Nisel. Wala pa si Engineer Flor de Lisa ba? Si Engineer Quirino. Engineer Tyler. Si Engineer La Cuesta, Laila.
Good evening, sir. Present po.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, class. Magtiwas ta karon sa last na tong report. Sila ni Engineer Dadoli, Engineer Onabia, Engineer Bandoles, and Engineer Namokatkat. Oh, Engineer Quirino Day, present. Wala pa si Engineer Flor de Lisa ba? Si Engineer Quirino. Engineer Nisel Len. Okay, so...
Sir, present, sir.
Si Nisel, yes. Okay, so ready na si Engineer Dadoli?
Yes, sir. Ready na, sir.
Okay, you may start.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
Today, I will be presenting the last topic, the seismic. The last topic sa seismic design requirements. So, kani among topic upat is sumpay-sumpay lang and mine is the introduction. So, ako ang topic is seismic design philosophy and capacity design. Start. I'm using the ACI reference introduction since mas clearer si ACI. So, okay, allow me to start. So, sa section sa seismic design philosophy and design capacity, tayo ato topics kay ano siya sa section 21.2 of the ACI 318-05. It outlines the general requirements for reinforced concrete structures subjected to earthquake forces, emphasizing the need for special detailing when seismic effects are considered in design. Especially ang ato ang sections sa 21.2.1 defines the scope of these provisions, stating that Chapter 21 or sa ato ang NSCP is ato ang 418 applies to structures designed based on the assumptions that they will dissipate energy through inelastic nonlinear behavior during strong earthquake. This means that instead of remaining entirely elastic, ato ang structure members are expected to undergo controlled yielding to absorb seismic energy, which is consistent with the modern seismic design philosophy. So, ato ang code further explains that in the regions of low seismic risk or for structures assigned to low seismic performance categories, the standard provision of Chapter 1 through 18 and 22 are generally sufficient. So, if ato ang structures is mag-suffice ra siya sa ato ang provisions from chapters 1 to 18 and 22, okay na ato ang design. Dili na siya need og seismic design philosophy and sa capacity design. And however, if ato ang seismic forces are calculated using provisions intended for more ductile system, such as the intermediate or special moment frames, which will be discussed by the succeeding reporters, then the corresponding requirements of Chapter 21 must still be followed. So if naatay mga special cases like mentioned nga, like kining mentioned na intermediate or special moment frames, mo na din ni ang time nga ma-apply nato si Chapter 4, si Section 418 of the NSCP. Ang in-depth na discussions will be presented later on sa mga reporters. Then, in the regions of moderate seismic risk, the code requires the use of more reliable lateral force resisting systems such as intermediate or special moment frames and various types of structural walls to ensure adequate performance under earthquake loading. So for regions naman with high seismic risk, the code becomes more stringent, requiring the use of special moment frames, special structural walls, and properly detailed diaphragms and trusses that comply with the detailed provisions of Chapter 21. These systems are specifically designed to provide high ductility, strength, and energy dissipation capacity. Additionally, itong structural members that are not intended to resist earthquake forces must still meet certain minimum requirements to ensure that they do not fail in a brittle manner during seismic events. And lastly, ang atoang codes allows alternative systems that do not restrict the following strictly follow the Chapter 21. So these are special provisions as long as it provides the sufficient experimental and analytical evidences that demonstrates that such system can achieve equal or greater strength and toughness compared to the conventional reinforced concrete systems designed in accordance with the code. For the analysis and proportioning of structural members, Section 418.2 of Seismic Design Provision, consistent with the philosophy of ACI 318-05 and similar codes adopted in the national standards, provides detailed requirements for the analysis, proportioning, and detailing of reinforced concrete members subjected to earthquake forces. Each ani nga subsections nag-emphasize and ensures that the structures behave predictably and ductility during seismic events. So for section 418.2.2, the analysis this requires that both structural and non-structural components of our building be considered in the analysis, as their interaction can significantly influence the building's response under earthquake loading. This includes both linear or elastic and non-linear and elastic behavior, recognizing that the real structure will undergo cracking and yielding. Even members not intended to resist seismic forces, as highlighted, dapat mag-produce gapon siya og rigid na elements and must be accounted for in the analysis if they affect overall stiffness and response. However, the code clarifies that the consequences of failure of non-seismic members need not be considered in the main seismic resistance design. Additionally, the elements extending below the base, such as the foundation members, must be designed consistently with the seismic systems above to ensure the proper transfer of earthquake forces in the grounds. So for earthquake resistant structures, muna sila ang mga for itong anchoring sa atong concrete, atong strength reduction factors na dapat nato ma-consider sa atong design if magamit ta og kaning special provision sa atong earthquake. For section 418.2.3, so anchoring to concrete, addresses the anchorage system that resists earthquake-induced forces. In higher seismic zones, such as sa Zone 2 and sa Zone 4, anchorage must be stricter provisions, referencing ani ato ang sa code, which is sa section 417.2.3 sa atong seismic design. This is to prevent the brittle failure like pull-outs or concrete breakouts. This ensures that atong connections between sa atong structural and non-structural components kay mag-remain sila nga intact during strong shaking. For section 4.18.2.4 sa strength reduction factor, specifies that strength reduction factors or atong fee factors used in design must comply with section 421 sa atong strength reduction factor. These factors account uncertainties in material strength, construction quality, and loadings, and especially important in seismic design to ensure na margin of safety against a failure. Sa section 4.18.2.5, concrete and special moment frames and special structure walls requires that concrete used in critical seismic systems meet minimum compressive strength requirements as specified in table 4.19.2.1.1. So, one day ni atong table, I don't know if it's visible. So, atong general yun applications, pag concrete, normal weight and light weight, atong minimum na FC prime is 17. Wala siya maximum. Then sa special moment frames and special structural walls, natay minimum na FC prime, which is 21 on both. And then sa lightweight nga maximum is 35. So, pag higher ato ang strength sa concrete, ga-improve siya sa ato ang stiffness, strength, and confinement, which are essential for the ductile performance in special moment frames and structural walls designed to dissipate seismic energy. So for section 418.2.6 at reinforcements in special moment frames and special structural walls emphasizes that reinforcement detailing must comply with stringent seismic requirements stipulated sa ato ang section 420.2.2. These includes proper bar spacing, reinforcement, and anchorage to ensure ductility, prevent premature buckling, and allow members to undergo large deformation without sudden failure. Sa ato ang section 418.2.7, mechanical splices in special moment frames and special structural walls. Section classifies splices into type 1 and type 2. So type 1 kay a splice meets basic strength requirements but are limited in where they can be placed. Dili siya allowed sa regions where ang yielding is expected, particularly sa near sa column beam nga joints as an example, because they may not sustain large inelastic deformations, whereas ang type 2 splices are stronger and capable for developing the full tensile strength of the reinforcing bar, making them suitable for use even in critical regions, except where specifically restricted. This distinction ensures that atong connection in high-stress zones remains reliable during earthquake. For the last slide, welded splice in special moment frames and special structural walls requires that welded splices also meet strength and performance criteria or prohibits their placements in regions where significant inelastic deformation is expected. So, welding can introduce brittleness or residual stresses, so it is carefully controlled. Further, welding of transverse reinforcements such as stirrups and ties to longitudinal bars is not permitted, as this can weaken the reinforcement and compromise ductility, which is critical for seismic performance. So overall, these provisions collectively ensures that ang reinforcement sa atong concrete structures are not only strong but also ductile, with careful detailing connections and materials that enable them to withstand earthquake forces through controlled energy dissipation rather than subtle brittle failures. So that's all for my report, since this is only the introduction. More in-depth and detailed will be presented later on sa succeeding reporters po. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Carl. Yes, that is only the introduction, no, for special moment resisting frame. Anyway, maybe there are lots of questions later on as we go along sa atong report. Thank you, Engineer Carl. Next reporter, please. Engineer Unabia.
Wait lang sir, ako sa setup sir.
Okay, sige.
Yes sir. So am I audible everyone? So good evening everyone. Good evening sir. So
Good evening.
today I will be discussing the seismic design provision in beams in special moment frames. So to proceed, so a special moment frame is a reinforced concrete seismic force resisting system or SMRF designed to resist earthquake effects through strength, ductility, and controlled energy dissipation. So, ang beams kay dili siya ginatreat as ordinary gravity member sa kaning nga pag-design kay ang beams gina-expect siya to participate sa mag-participate siya para mag-resist sa mga lateral earthquake forces and may undergo repeated bending reversals during strong ground motion. So, kung during earthquake shaking, ang frame mag-sway siya laterally. So, this lateral movement causes cyclic bending moments sa tuang beam, especially near sa tuang beam column joints. So, ang top bars may become tensile in one half cycle, o ang bottom bars may become tensile when ang direction of the motion reverses. So, tungod ani, both ang top and bottom reinforcement kay essential siya ani. So, the beam must be able to resist both positive and negative moment demands without losing stability or failing suddenly. So, karon ato i-discuss ang atong beam scope which is under section 418.6.1 sa atong NSCP 2015. So, which applies to beams in special moment frames that are part of the SMRF system and designed for flexure and shear. Dimensional limits which is under section 418.6.2 which controls clear span, width to depth proportion, minimum width, and beam projection beyond supporting column. Longitudinal reinforcement, which is under section 418.6.3, which controls the minimum and the maximum flexural steel continuity and moment strength distribution. Next is the transverse reinforcement, which is under section 418.6.4, controls hook, stirrups, detailing, confinement, bar support, and spacing near plastic hinge regions. And lastly, the shear strength, which is under section 418.6.5, which requires shear design based on probable flexural strengths and factor gravity loads. So, beams of special frames. So, the following requirements applies to beams of special moment frames that form of the seismic force resisting system and are proportioned primarily to resist flexure and shear. The limits on the span length and section dimension shall be the following. So first, we have the clear span shall be at least 4 times the effective depth. For its purpose, kay to prevent deep beam behavior sa beam and encourages flexural action. So kung tanaw pa ito ang seismic reasoning ani, ductile flexural yielding is preferred over brittle shear dominated responses. Number 2 is the width to depth ratio shall be at least 0.3. Purpose of this is to ensure beam is wide enough relative to its depth. For seismic reasoning, it reduces congestion and allows proper placement sa bars, hooks, and concrete. Third is that the minimum width shall be 200 millimeters. It provides constructability and sufficient reinforcement space. Dayon, for seismic reasoning, it supports proper confinement and prevents weak zones caused by poor concrete consolidation. And lastly is the projection of the beam with beyond the width of the supporting column on each side shall not exceed the lesser column 2 or 0.75 of the column 1 nga length. So, natay ka ng figure na natay pakita sa to next slide, which is kani. So, kaning clear span limit is important ni siya since if ang beam na to is too short sa iyahang relative depth, diagonal compression and shear effects may control the behavior. So kung sa to ang special moment frames, di siya desirable because kay ang shear failure kay sudden og gamay ra ang warning nga makita na to sa to ang beam. So kung by enforcing the clear span requirement, the code supports the formation of flexural plastic hinges instead nga sa mga brittle diagonal failures. The width requirement is also related to construction quality. So SMRF beams usually contain several top and bottom bars, hoops, seismic hooks, and adequate concrete cover. If ang beam na to is too narrow, bars become congested, magkahuot sila, then concrete may not flow properly. And of course, prone aniyang honeycombing. So kung in seismic design, even small construction defects can reduce confinement and bar anchorage. So then makita na to then sa side elevation sa tong beam where L should be less than or equal sa tuang 4 times the effective depth. Sa tuang section A-A, makita na to din nga ang beam shall be greater or equal to 250 millimeters.
Excuse me, Engineer James.
Sir.
Oh,
Sir, 200 millimeters ni sir.
yes, 200. Okay.
Masaya pala kong figure, sir. So, next is, ang katoda yung beam height ratio shall be greater or equal to 0.3. So, then, makita natin din po the projection itong beam width beyond sa width sa supporting column sa both sides. Atong requirement ani siyang length shall be not greater sa asay mas gamay between ni C2 or ni 0.75 C1. So bali kung say value ani kasi mas gamay ani ni C2 ug ni 0.75 C1, mo na yung maximum nga length ani sa projection sa beam width. So to proceed, so we have the longitudinal reinforcement. So ang longitudinal reinforcement kay mo ni siya atong main flexural steel nga atong kina-place along sa length sa atong beam. In special moment frame, ang kaning longitudinal reinforcement kay mag-provide ni siya must be provided both sa tuang top and sa tuang bottom faces kay kaning earthquake because earthquake forces reverses direction. The beam must therefore have enough both the positive and negative moment capacity near the joints o along sa tuang span. So then ang minimum reinforcement nga i-provide nato both sa tuang top o bottom faces sa tuang beam shall be 2 bars or nadari itong conditions. First is sa tuang area sa tuang steel or ako kana A sub AS should be greater or equal sa tuang minimum which is kaning pinakauna is square root of FC prime all over 4 times Fy times sa tuang width sa tuang beam times sa depth, effective depth. Or equal siya sa 1.4 all over Fy times beam width sa tuang beam times the effective depth. Or ang atong required sa which is also atong required sa atong analysis which is kanin duha. Dayon ang atong maximum reinforcement nga atong provide both sa tuang top ug sa tuang bottom faces sa tuang beam shall be lesser than ang atuang AS sa tuang 0.025 times sa tuang width sa tuang beam times the effective depth. So ang kaning maximum na to nga reinforcement limit kay ductility requirement ni siya kay kung too much ra pod ato ang steel nga atong ibutang sa tuang beam, the concrete compression zone may crush before ato ang tension steel mag-yield. So this brittle failure mechanism is not acceptable sa tuang seismic design. A properly designed special moment frame beam should allow yielding sa tuang reinforcement and controlled plastic hinge rotation. So the positive and negative moment strength requirements also prevents one-sided strength. So kaniya tong positive moment strength at joint face shall be at least 1/2 the negative moment strength provided at that face of the joint or sa tuang support. Dayon, both the negative and the positive moment strength at any section along the member length shall be at least one-fourth the maximum moment strength provided at face of either joint. Take note that the A sub S minimum need not to be satisfied if atong AS applied is one-third greater sa tuang AS required. So sa atong illustration, makita nito danhi nga ang kaning sa atong top bars, area sa steel sa top bars kay should be either of the following. So which is greater or equal sa atong required sa atong analysis. Equivalent sa 2 bars, atong ganina nga 1.4 over Fy times B sub WD or width sa beam times the effective depth, or the square root of FC prime all over 4 times Fy times BWD. And ato ang top bars shall be less than or equal sa tuang 0.025 BWD sa tuang yang maximum nga itong gina-require. Dahil sa tuwa ding bottom bars, same gyapon nga required sa atong analysis, equivalent sa tuang 2 bars and katong 1.4 o katong square root of FC prime. Dayon, ang yada yung kwan is dapat half siya sa tuang, at least half siya sa tuang negative moment strength. Dahil sa tuwa da yung point of inflection wherein ato ang moment dani kung sa tuang which is ato ang moment is 0, dari makita na danhi nga kaning LD na to is either, ang length ani niya is either of the following wherein shall be equal sa tuang effective depth or greater equal sa tuang 12 times sa tuang diameter sa tuang beam, and atwa yung isa po na nga requirement is greater equal sa tuang length all over 16. Dahil at least lang man ang atuang kuno ni pwede po siya at least ang length ani is equal to 1/3 sa tuang area sa tuang top bar sa steel. Dayon kanida yung isa po danhi kaning ganhi nga part shall be greater or equal sa tuang maximum area all over 4, which is katong kani. And to proceed with the next slide, so lap slices. So slices at tuang longitudinal bar shall be permitted if hoop or spiral reinforcement is provided over the lap length. So muna sa following nga itong isunod aning lap splices. So number 1 is that no splices are allowed within the joints. No splices are allowed within time tuang 2 times itong height or 2h from face of the joint. No splices are allowed within 2h from points of flexural yielding as a result of lateral displacement, and lap length must be provided with hoops or spiral with S is equal to D over 4 or 100 millimeters. So to proceed with the transverse reinforcement, so kaning transverse reinforcement, gi-include nila ni atong mga hoops, stirrups, ties, and seismic hooks placed along the beam section. So kung in ordinary beam, ang stirrup mainly ga-resist siya og shear, whereas sa tuang special moment frame beams, transverse reinforcement has additional seismic function. It confines ang concrete core, restrains longitudinal bars against buckling, maintains shear strength after cracking, and supports ductile plastic hinge behavior. So beam ends near column faces are critical because plastic hinges are expected to form during strong earthquake. So in those regions, ang concrete cover may crack and the longitudinal bars may yield. So without closely spaced hoops, the concrete core may lose confinement and the bars may buckle under cyclic compression. So this can cause rapid loss of strength and stiffness. So transverse reinforcement over the confined region shall be proportioned to resist shear, assuming VC is equal to 0 when both of the following conditions occur. First is ato ang 1/2 V sub E should be less than or equal sa tuang probable moment at A plus probable moment at B all over length. And atong sa condition kay atong axial load nga PU shall be less than or equal to 0.05 times FC prime times the area gross. So if dili na to makwan, if di na to ma-satisfy niya condition, atong isolve to ang V sub C wherein wala ko nabutan danhi pero base akong nakita is 1 over 6 times FC prime times BW or D sa katong capacity sa tong concrete. So in beams having factored axial compressive force nga nag-exceed sa tuang or atong PU, nag-exceed siya og area gross times sa tuang FC prime all over 10, atong hoops mag-comply siya with the column requirement provided nga within sa 2H from the face of the support. So along the remaining length, hoops satisfying the column requirements shall have the spacing not exceeding the lesser of either of the following kaning duha: 6 times the effective depth of the smallest primary reinforcement or 150 millimeters. So hoops shall be provided in the following regions ato ang beam. So first, over the length equal to twice the beam depth measured from the face of the supporting column towards the midspan at both ends of the beam. Dayon, over length, number 2, over length equal to twice the beam depth on both sides of a section where flexural yielding is likely to occur as a result of lateral displacement beyond the elastic range of behavior. So, sa tuang first hoop, kani siya kay located siya not more than sa 50 millimeters ikan sa face sa tong supporting column. So, diri makita na danhi nga mo ni siya tong 50 millimeters. After aning first na spacing na 50 millimeters, dari ta kaning kaning spacing kaning shall be equal or less than sa tuang 1/4 sa tuang effective depth, 6 times sa diameter sa tuang main bar, and should be less than sa tuang can be either equal or less than sa tuang 150 millimeters. So note that corner and alternate longitudinal bars shall be provided with lateral support by a tie with included angle not more than 135 degrees and no further than 150 millimeters from such laterally supported bars. Then lastly is where hooks are not required, stirrups with seismic hook at both ends shall be spaced at a distance not more than sa tuang half sa tuang effective depth throughout the length sa tuang member, which is kaninga part. Nakita natin ni S shall be less than or equal sa tuang D over 2. And then ang ato ang kuan ni ato lang sa usagamay lang ning kaning sila kupat. Sa kaning 1/4 sa tuang effective depth, iyang purpose ani kay to keep hoops close enough to confine the beam core and control cracking, whereas kaning 6 times sa atong diameter sa atong main bars, i-strain niya ang longitudinal bars sa atong buckling between sa support. Kaning 150 millimeter, kaning i-ensure niya nga ang atong practical upper limit ensures a practical upper limit for seismic confinement. Then lastly, kaning D over 2, kaning part, maintains shear resistance and bar support along sa rest ato ang beam. So, to proceed, so the capacity design means sa atong beam is intentionally detailed so that kanang atong ductile flexural yielding can occur before brittle shear failure. The designer does not merely use the analysis shear from elastic analysis. Instead, the design shear is based on the shear that would develop if plastic hinges from at both beam ends and the beam reaches its probable moment strength. So this approach ensures that shear capacity remains larger than the shear demand associated with flexural yielding. So the design shear forces V sub E shall be calculated if the following. First is from the forces on the beam between faces of the joints. 2 is to assume the probable flexural strength acts in opposite directions. Then lastly is to assume that the beam is loaded with the factor gravity load. So forces in longitudinal beam reinforcement at the joint face shall be determined by assuming that the stress in the flexural tensile reinforcement is 1.25 Fy. So that would be all for the beams and special moment frames. So thank you for listening.
Okay, class. Nasabtan to siya, class. Nasabtan siya, class. Balik ko no Engineer Onabia, eh. Wala ni mo na kuan Engineer James katong requirements sa shear capacity for special moment resisting frame. Wala, no? Naato siya class 10 pa. For special moment resisting frame, when we design the wait lang. When we design the what is that? Beam.
Para pangangkihin yung lahat ng posisyon dito sa Senado. Ayan. Sige ba? Salamat. Thank you. Salamat.
Beam.
Yung video. Patuloy natin yung video sa Senado.
Diba? Hello. One way slab, two way slab.
CCTV footage pa rin. Ayun, tumatakbos Senador Bato-Paco to.
Grabe. For special moment resisting, diba?
Pagkakos sa Senador Bato ng seso, yun, ang hinahabol nga. Mga taunang din mga staff ata na sila.
Such that VL. Okay.
Ay, sa Senado pala ito. Live pala ito, ha? Pinapanood.
Tempa ha. Kamay lang. Murag na ato siya sa
Stop niyan. Sabi, wala na. Sorry.
reinforcement limit. Wala to asa sa 418.
Yan nga,
418 beam. Beams for of special moment frame. Ingon siya dito that in special moment resisting frame, we already neglect the shear capacity of the concrete such that mahimo siyang zero bali, no? Mahimo siyang zero. Kaya kung mukrak na siya, wala na. Yan, di ba, sa gi-explain ni Engineer Onabia nga ang earthquake, pabali-bali man siya, no? Saan mo ito,
Ito ba pinto ng opisina ng Senador Bato o yung sa tatas ng plenaryan ng Senado? Plenaryan pinto na yun. Alas 3:12 ng hapon. Oo.
Extra shear strength na raw. Siya. Siya actually sa section 418.7.6.2.1.
susunod na pangyayari, ang ibig na susunod. Kaya kanila piniplay, no?
Pwede ko mag-share, Sir James.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ako lang stop share, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Among those who were chasing Senator Bato were NBI agents.
Sa dini ako tanawa.
The President, we have seen it all.
If you can still remember,
This is the best evidence that can prove that the good senator, our colleague in this institution,
if you can still remember,
by authorities. I'm not sure why
kaya ako man yung gi-post
authorities
man eh.
chase him incidentally.
Na-post na ko na siya sa akong Facebook.
Captured by them for purposes of serving him or rendering him or even surrendering him
What is that?
to the ICC. I'd like to ask, Mr. President, what is the authority of the National Bureau of Investigation in executing, for example, even if for the sake of an argument, the ICC issued a warrant of
Kanya.
arrest against Senator Bato?
Ito ko nakita ninyo ni siya
The counterpart
sa
of the Interpol,
akong
which is
post.
the
No?
serving arm.
Here, makita na to nga ang spacing sa imo ding reinforcement DI is
The Interpol's
of course dependent man siya sa imong
VP,
shear capacity o imong shear capacity
which is
nasa kay design shear, no? Kay design shear na kay shear capacity. I-check mo nimo na,
and I checked
check kung kailan ba siya og
now under
check nimo ni siya
the office of the President.
kung mo satisfy siya ana.
Control of
Oh, kani siya is the dimensional check.
Dinaporcom.
Dimensional check kung ang imong VU is greater than this value, increase nimo ang size. So meaning, manang usahay kung mo gamit kag RCDC, tingala ka nga, anong sige ni pagsak man yun. So daghan din sila mga requirement. No? If your VU, dako kayo imong VU, meaning dako kayo mas dako ani, VC plus this value, increase din yung beam size. Kay gamay ra imong dimension. Pero kung pasar siya diha, ani na sa ka sa next ga check. No? Kung mag-require ba siya og stirrup or dili ba? If your VU is less than or equal to the reduced VC over 2, then dili na kailangan mag-kuan. Dili na kailangan mag-provide og stirrup, but the code requires us to provide minimum stirrups at maximum spacing. No? D over 2. Pero kung dili siya mo satisfy, meaning kinahanglan siya og stirrup. So kuha ni mo yung shear sa stirrup. So din makuha ni mo yung shear sa stirrup which is equal to VU over reduction factor minus VC. So naka-value sa VC diha. Pero sa seismic provision of the code, sa seismic provision, ingon siya dito nga imo daw himuong equal to 0 ang VC. Rao, transverse reinforcement over the length LO given in section 418 shall be designed to resist shear assuming VC is equal to 0. No?
Masyado pong nakakabahala na ang nangyayari, Mr. President.
0 siya, tempa. Saraman
All
to.
these people, I think we can identify all these people in Jordan.
Is, kolom man eh.
Not only
Tempa.
violate a section
Kolom.
Article 140
Naroday.
of the revised
Naroday.
code, as I earlier
Transverse reinforcement over the length identified in section 418.6.4.1 shall be designed to resist shear assuming VC is equal to 0. So this is the reinforcement requirement for shear strength sa imong
of the recent
vertex taas, anita din sa taas.
resolution number 44.
Where is that?
I know that Senator Bato be placed under
Nara, beam of special moment frames. No? So minimo na siya nagkatong kuan.
to
Kani uban ani na explain naman ni Engineer James, oh.
and exhaust all
Kanisad, no? However, dali, wala niya nakuha si Roning isa.
and until these institutions.
This is very important because, kaabot mo si James niyo.
Mr. President,
This is very important because, dili na nato i-consider ang VC kung sa student pa na, no?
it's very, very clear.
Nato siya i-consider kung sa special moment frame tungod kay
Warrant against our colleague.
tungod kay
59 still
kung
states
magbali-bali to imong earthquake,
the arrest
ang imong
of the
top and bottom reinforcement at either support
in order to accomplish
will have will experience both compression and tension alternately, no? So kung ang bottom bar mo ay may mong compression, ang tension kay may mong ang top bar may mong tension. Pagbalik sa linog ana, ang katunasang top bar mo nasa may mong compression, ang bottom bar nasa may mong tension. So once muliki na siya karon, so wala na itawag og shear capacity sa concrete, wala na siya kung muliki. So we might as well consider it equal to zero na lang tayo. So mo rin siya. So imong shear stress sa stirrup is equal to VU over reduction factor na lang, wala na yung minus VC kay zero naman ang VC diya. Nakuha ninyo, class? Class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maghimo kog aniglain para sa kanang kuano, para sa kaning special moment frame. Kani shear reinforcement stirrup design as per NSC 2015, pero lahat pa tong sa na slight difference sa seismic provision for section 418 and considering VC zero siya dapat. Okay? Any question? Any other question?
I recall, Mr. President, every time we have
Any other questions?
any member
Naatay share rin. Wait lang.
in contempt, someone who is
Sige. Balik pangutana.
so
Next reporter na ta. Adto ta kang
position, Mr. President,
Ah.
looking at what happened to our DOE. And I'm gonna do this, Mr. President, whether you are in majority
Engineer
or
Bandolis.
minority. You are an elected official, Mr. President.
Engineer Bandolis.
And for someone,
Yes, sir. Good evening. I'll share skills. I say thank you.
Okay,
especially
sige.
from a different agency,
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Naida C. Bandolis, and I will be
Good evening.
presenting columns of special moment frames based on NSCP 2015 Section 418.7. Next slide, please. Thank you. According to NSCP 2015 418.7.1, this section covers columns and special moment frames which are part of the seismic force resisting system. This means these columns play a critical role during earthquakes. They are designed to resist three main types of forces: flexure or bending, shear or lateral forces, and axial forces or vertical loads. In simple terms, these sections tell us how to design columns so that they are strong enough to carry loads while also being ductile enough to perform safely during seismic events. Next slide. So, now that we understand the scope of Section 418.7 and what type of column it applies to, we can move on to the first specific requirements, the dimensional limits of columns and special moment frames. Under NSCP 2015, Section 418.7.2, columns of special moment frames must satisfy two main dimensional requirements. First is the minimum dimension. The shortest cross-sectional dimension of the column measured through the geometric centroid must be at least 250 millimeters. Second is the aspect ratio. the ratio of the shortest dimension to the longer or perpendicular dimension must be at least 0.4. In simple terms, this prevents the column from being too narrow or too slender in one direction. So, for example, if not a rectangular column na 300 millimeters, yung longest side is 500 millimeters, the aspect ratio is 300 divided by 500, which is 0.6. Since 0.6 kay greater man siya sa 0.4, the column complies with Section 418.7.2. Overall, these dimensional limits help ensure that columns have adequate strength, ductility, and seismic performance. Next slide. Thank you. After checking the size and proportion requirements of the column, the next important requirement is its strength. So now let's proceed to Section 418.7.3, minimum flexural strength of columns. Under NSCP 2015 Section 418.7.3, columns must satisfy the minimum flexural strength requirement. Flexural strength refers to the ability of a member to resist bending. In this section, the code requires that the total flexural strength of the column framing into a joint must be at least 20% greater than the total flexural strength of the beams framing into the same joint. This is shown by the equation. The sum of column moment strength must be greater than or equal to 6/5 of the sum of the beam moment strength. Or in simple terms, column strength must be at least greater column strength must be at least 1 point times the beam strength. So this requirements follows the strong column weak beam concept. The purpose is to make sure that during an earthquake, inelastic action or damage happens first in the beam rather than in the columns. This is important because if columns fail first, as we all know, the entire story may collapse, leading to a dangerous failure mechanism. But if beam sealed first, the structure can absorb energy and deform in a more controlled and ductile way. So overall, this requirements helps prevent sudden collapse and improve the seismic performance of the structure. Next slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. After checking that the columns have enough flexural strength, we now move on to the reinforcement that helps the column resist bending and axial load. This brings us to Section 418.7.4, longitudinal reinforcement. Under NSCP 2015 Section 418.7.4, the longitudinal reinforcement in columns of special moment frames must comply with the sections 418.7.41 to 418.7.43. Longitudinal reinforcement refers to the vertical steel bars placed along the length of the column. So these bars provide the main resistance against flexure or bending and also helps the column carry axial forces or vertical loads. So for the amount of reinforcement, the area of longitudinal bars represented by A sub ST must not be less than 1% and must not be greater than 6% of the gross concrete area represented by A sub G. In simple terms, there should be enough steel to provide strength, but not too much that it causes congestion and makes proper concrete placement difficult. For circular columns, the code also requires at least 6 longitudinal bars when circular hoops are used. Another important part of this section is about splices or the connection of reinforcing bar. For mechanical splices, they must conform to the code requirement already discussed under Section 418.2.7, which cover mechanical splices in special moment frames and special structural walls. For lap slices, these are only permitted within the center half of the column length. A lap slice is a way of connecting two reinforcing bars by overlapping them for a required length so that they act like one continuous bar. Instead of welding or using mechanical connector, the two rebars are placed side by side with enough overlap and are tied together. In column, lap slices are used when one rebar is not long enough, so another bar is added and overlap to continue the reinforcement. However, lap slices are not allowed near the top and bottom engines of the column because these areas are close to the beam column joints where earthquake stresses are usually highest. This avoids creating weak zones and where failure could occur. All lap slices must also be designed as tension lap slices and enclosed with transverse reinforcement. A tension lap splice means that the overlap must be able to safely transfer tensile forces or pulling force from one bar to another during bending or earthquake movement. The bars may be pulled, so the splice must be long enough and properly confined to prevent slipping or separation. Overall, these requirements ensure that the columns has enough strength, ductility, and continuity while preventing weak zones near the joints. Next slide, please. After discussing the longitudinal reinforcement or vertical steel bars on the column, we now move to the reinforcement that wraps around them. This is called the transverse reinforcement. Under NSCP 2015, Section 418.7.5, transverse reinforcement in columns of special moment frames must comply with Section 418.7.51 through 418.7.56. Transverse reinforcement includes ties, hoops, spirals, and cross ties placed around the longitudinal bars. Its main purpose is to confine the concrete floor, improve shear strength, prevent buckling, longitudinal bars, and increase the ductility of the column during earthquakes. When we say shear, it is the internal force that tries to make one part of the column slide or cut against another part. So as a reminder lang, di ba, during earthquakes, the building moves sideways, so the column experiences both bending and shear. We need to improve the shear strength because shear failure is usually, di ba, sudden and brittle, often forming diagonal cracks. Then another important function, di ba, is to prevent buckling. And another reminder, buckling happens when the vertical reinforcing bars bend sideways or lose their straight shape due to compression. Without proper ties or hoops, the longitudinal bars may buckle outward, causing the column to lose strength and stability. That is why transverse reinforcement acts like a support system. It holds the concrete floor together and keeps the vertical bars in place. Now, Section 418.7.5 discusses the length of confinement zone represented by L sub 0, L sub O. This confinement zone is provided near the beam column joints because these areas usually experience the highest bending moments during earthquake sway. This is also where flexural yielding is likely to occur. However, the length of this vertical region is not guessed by the designer, as well, it is determined by the code. According to NSCP, the confinement length L sub 0 must be taken as the largest of the three values. First is the depth of the column at the joint face. So the joint face, the surface where the beam meets the column. The depth of the column is the column dimension measured at the connection in the direction of bending or earthquake loading. Second, 1/6 of the clear span of the column. The clear span means the unsupported vertical height of the column between the faces of the beams or supports. It does not include the depth of the beams. And third, for 150 millimeters, for example, panapareha ganina, 300 by 500 size of column, and the iyang clear span is 2,700 meters. So if we compare these three values, the column depth is 500 millimeters. Then 1/6 of the clear span is 2,700 divided by 6, which is 450 millimeters. And the minimum code value is 450 millimeters. So among 500, 450, and 450, the largest is 500 millimeters. Therefore, L sub 0 is 500 millimeters, meaning the special transverse reinforcement must extend 500 millimeters from the beam column joint face. Next is Section 418.7.5.2. Gives the requirements of transverse reinforcement. For easier discussion, we can summarize items A to F this way. So item A tells us the allowed forms of transverse reinforcement. This may be single or overlapping spirals, circular hoops, or rectilinear hoops with or without cross ties. Item B requires the bends of hoops and cross ties to engage the peripheral longitudinal bars, meaning the outside vertical bars must be properly held. Item C allows cross ties to be the same or smaller bar size than the hoops, and they should be alternated around the section for better support. Item D states that rectilinear hoops or cross ties must provide lateral support to the longitudinal reinforcement. Item E limits the spacing H sub X of laterally supported bars to not more than 350 millimeters around the column perimeter. Item F gives a stricter requirement when the actual load is high and when the concrete strength is high. In that case, every perimeter longitudinal bar must have lateral support, and H sub X must not exceed 200 millimeters. So in simple terms, Section 418.7.5.2 tells us to use the proper hook type, engage the bars, alternate the cross ties, provide lateral support, limit H sub X, and give tighter support when the column has a high actual load or high strength concrete. Lastly, section 418.7.53 discusses the spacing of transfers enforcement represented by as the spacing must not exceed the smallest value among the code limits. First, 1/4 of the minimum column dimension. Second, 6 times the diameter of the smallest longitudinal bar. And third, the calculated value of S sub O. The value of S sub O is calculated using the equation shown in the slide. However, the calculated value of S sub O should not exceed 150 millimeters and should not be less than 100 millimeters. So if the computed value of S sub O is greater than 150 millimeters, we use 150 millimeters. So if less than 100 millimeters, we use 100 millimeters. After that, we compare it with other spacing limits, and the smallest value will control the required spacing of the transverse reinforcement. Overall, transverse reinforcement is essential because it confines the concrete, prevents bar buckling, improves shear strength, controls cracking, and and helps the column perform in a more ductile and safer way during earthquakes. Next slide, please. After discussing the length, arrangement, and spacing of transverse reinforcement, we now move to table 418.7.54. This table gives the minimum required amount of transverse reinforcement for columns and special moment frames. So at first, the table may look complicated because it contains several, but its purpose is simple. It helps determine how much transverse steel is needed to properly confine the column. So when we say amounts of transverse reinforcement, it does not directly mean the number of ties or hoops. Instead, it refers to the required steel area or reinforcement ratio. For rectilinear hoops or rectangular ties and cross ties, the table uses A sub SH over S sub B sub C. This represents the required transverse reinforcement ratio for rectilinear hoops. From this value, the designer can determine A sub SH, which is the required area of transverse reinforcement within a spacing S. So in simple terms, it answers the question, how much tie or hoop steel area do we need within this spacing? For spiral or circular hoops, the table uses rho sub S. This represents the required volumetric ratio of transverse reinforcement. So it answers the question, how much spiral or circular hoops reinforcement is needed to confine the column. The table also depends on important conditions. So first is the factored actual compressive load represented by P sub U. Second is the specified compressive strength of concrete represented by F prime sub C. If the column has a higher actual load, or if the concrete strength is greater than 70 MPa, the table requires additional checking and may require more confinement reinforcement. Some expression also include two factors, K sub F and K sub N. K sub F is the concrete strength factor. It accounts for the effect of concrete compressive strength. As concrete strength increases, the confinement requirement may also increase. And K sub N is the confinement effectiveness factor. It depends on the number of perimeter longitudinal bars or bar bundles that are laterally supported by hoop corners or seismic hoops. In simple terms, K sub N reflects how effective the transverse reinforcement is in supporting the longitudinal bars around the column. When using this table, the designer checks the applicable expression depending on the type of transverse reinforcement and column condition. If the table says greater of, we solve the listed expression and use the larger value. If the table says greatest of, we solve all listed expression and use the largest value. This is important because the largest value gives the minimum safe requirement for confinement. After solving, the table does not directly tell us the number of ties. Instead, the result is used to choose the actual bar size, spacing, and arrangement that will provide at least the required amount of transverse steel. Overall, table 418.7.54 ensures that SMF columns have enough transverse reinforcement to confine the concrete core, support the longitudinal bars, prevent buckling, and maintain ductile behavior during earthquakes. Next slide, please. After determining the required amount of transverse reinforcement, we now move to the additional transverse reinforcement requirements under Section 418.7.5 to 418.7.5.7. First, under Section 418.7.5.5, even beyond the confinement length or L sub 0, the column must still contain spiral or scope reinforcement. This means that the transverse reinforcement should not stop right after the critical confinement zone. It must continue along the column to maintain confinement and support. The spacing S must not exceed the smaller of 6 times the diameter of the smallest longitudinal bar, or 150 or 150 millimeters, unless a larger amount of transverse reinforcement is required by another code provision. So the main idea of this section is that reinforcement continues even outside the critical confinement zone. Next, under 418.7.56, this applies to columns supporting reactions from discontinued stiff members such as walls. A discontinued stiff member is a stiff structural element that does not continue down to the lower level. So the supporting column must resist and transfer the force coming from that discontinuity. For part A, the code requires that the transverse reinforcement from sections 418.7.52 to 418.7.54 be provided over the full column height below the discontinuity. When the factored actual compressive force related to the earthquake effect exceeds A sub G F prime C over 10, if the overstrength is considered, the limit becomes A sub G F prime C over 4. In simple terms, if the column below the discontinued stiff member is carrying significant earthquake-related actual force, it needs full height transverse reinforcement for added confinement and ductility. For part B, the transverse reinforcement must extend into the discontinued member by at least L sub B, or the development length of the largest longitudinal column bar. If the column terminates into a wall, the transverse reinforcement must extend into the wall by at least L sub B. If the column terminates into a footing or mat, the transverse reinforcement must extend at least 300 millimeters or into the footing or mat. So the main idea of the section 418.7.56 is to provide extra confinement and proper extension of reinforcement where large forces are transferred. Lastly, under section 418.7.7, if the concrete cover outside the confinement transverse reinforcement exceeds 100 millimeters, additional transverse reinforcement must be provided. This is because thick outer concrete cover is more likely to crack or spall during earthquake loading if it is not properly reinforced. The additional reinforcement should be provided so that the cover does not exceed 100 millimeters and the spacing does not exceed 300 millimeters. So the main idea here is that thick outer cover needs extra reinforcement to help control cracking and spalling. Overall, this section ensures that the transverse reinforcement continues where needed, especially beyond the confinement zone. Below discontinuous stiff members and in areas with thick concrete cover, this helps improve confinement, ductility, and overall seismic performance of the column. Next slide, please. After discussing the transverse reinforcement requirements, we now move to section 418.7.6, shear strength. This section focuses on how special moment frame columns are designed to resist shear forces during earthquakes. Shear is the internal force that tries to make one part of the column slide or cut against another part during an earthquake. The frame moves sideways, so the column experiences both bending and shear. The purpose of this section is to prevent brittle shear failure because unlike bending failure, shear failure can happen suddenly and may lead to serious damage or collapse. Under section 418.7.6.1, the design shear force represented by vis-a-vis is calculated from the maximum forces that can be generated at the faces of the joint at each end of the column. These forces are based on the maximum probable flexural strength represented by MPR at the top and bottom ends of the column. In simple terms, we do not design the column shear only from ordinary analysis forces. Instead, we consider the maximum probable bending strength that the column can develop during earthquake loading. So the formula shown on the slide is PE is equals to MPR top plus MPR bottom over Ln, where MPR top and MPR bottom are the maximum probable flexural strength at the top and the bottom ends of the column, and Ln is the clear height of the column between the faces of the joints. This means that if the column can develop large bending moments at both ends, the shear force produced by those moments must also be resisted. The code also states that VE must not be less than the factored shear obtained from structural analysis. This ensures that the design is not underestimated. Next, under section 418.7.62, transverse reinforcement over the confinement length or also zero must be designed to resist shear assuming VC is equals to zero when two conditions both occur. First, the earthquake-induced shear force is at least one half of the maximum required shear strength within L sub zero. Second, the factored actual compressive force P sub U, including the earthquake effects, is less than AGFC prime sub C O F prime C over 20. When both of these conditions happen, the concrete contribution to shear resistance is ignored. So the shear must be resisted by the transverse reinforcement. This is a conservative requirement because low actual load and high earthquake shear can reduce the reliability of concrete by resisting shear. Overall, Section 418.7.6 ensures that SMF columns have enough shear capacity based on the maximum probable forces that they may experience. This helps prevent brittle, shear, failure, supports ductile behavior during earthquakes. That will be all for my report. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Engineer Bandules. Oh, any question? Detalyado ko ito. Mogya po to siya, ha? Ang imong VC is not considered anymore. Atong shear capacity of your column, of your concrete is not considered. It is equated to zero, no? Any questions? Sa katong naka-training sa STAAD, kasabot to sila kay ako man nga mention. Yay kasi Engineer Bandules, kina siya secretary. Any questions? Okay. Grabe, wali pangutaan na ba eh? Sige, last ta. Dito kang engineer na mukatkat. Sir?
Hello, sir. Good evening. Wait lang, sir.
Okay.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I will discuss about the beam column joints, confinement, and detailing. So, based on the provisions of NCP 2015. Next slide. So, first, what is a beam column joint? So, mo natong i-ask. So, a beam column joint is the region where the beams and columns intersect in structural frame. So, this area is very important because it transfers the forces between structural members and greatly affects the overall behavior of the structure. So, if ang atong joint mag-fail, so our structure will collapse. So, then there is a right side, natay types atong beam column joints. So, natay interior, exterior, or corner. So, nabutay mga special cases na isa lang ang iyang gikuan. So, sa interior, so all four faces kay na I-beam. Tapos atong exterior kay kasaga three faces lang ang kuan na I-beam. Tapos atong corner, two faces lang sa kuan column ang kuan. So, same as sa roof gyapon, sa roof beam. Tapos, dari lang din sa kuan, sa obos, you can see that in our actual structures, especially reinforced concrete buildings, so beam column joints are considered critical zones during earthquakes because they experience high stress concentration. So if the joint fails, it may lead to structural collapse. So why do we focus on beam column joints during earthquakes? So earthquakes produce cyclic lateral loads that repeatedly push and pull the structure. So these forces are concentrated at joints. So because of this, the joints must transfer shear and moment forces properly, maintain integrity during the formation. So a well-designed joints ensure the ductility, the strength, and the energy dissipation, so which are essential for seismic performance and life safety. Next slide, please. So one of the most important principles in seismic design is the strong column weak beam concept. So ang atong beam is na-discuss na po sa atong previous reporter o atong column. So based sa seismic resisting frames. So karon ang joints na gyud atong gi-kuan. So anong strong column weak beam man. So this means that during a strong earthquake, the beam should yield first before the columns. So mo gina atong principle. So the reason is that beam failures is more ductile and safer, while column failure can lead to sudden collapse of the entire structure. So the column must remain stronger than the beam to maintain overall structural stability. So this design approach helps the structure absorb earthquake energy while preventing catastrophic failure. So as you can see sa atong graph, natay force versus displacement. So sa atong graph kay atong strong column kay linear lang. So pasabutan na sa atong sa atong weak beam is ni curve na siya. So ang kanina graph nagdepict na ang atong column dapat maka-carry pa og dako na force as it displaced. So kani pa din nominal moments at joint shear. So naatay ginatawag na if atong kuha na to ang section sa atong joint. So sa atong column natay moment sa atong column ug sa atong beam padayon. So kana sila is mag based sa atong summation of forces. So dapat ang atong flexural strength of columns kay mag-satisfy sa kanina equation. So gi-discuss na ni kagina sa previous reporter katong sa atong column, which is ang atong nominal sa atong column or moment nominal sa atong column must be greater than or equal to 1.2 or katong naka-figure kaganina katong 6/5 sa summation of moments sa atong nominal sa atong girders or beams. So next slide please. So according to 418.8.2.1, forces in longitudinal beam reinforcement at joint faces shall calculated assuming that the stress in the flexure tensile reinforcement is 1.25 Fy. So karon ang atong strong column weak beam ato na siyang i-connect sa atong joint special moment frames, which is katong sa 418.8. So ang instead natong traditional na katong pag-calculate nato sa atong tension sa atong steel, katong T is equal to AS Fy. So natay multiplier nga 1.25. So i-increase nato yang strength to 25%. And according to 418.8.2.3, so where longitudinal beams reinforcement extends through a beam column joint, the column dimension parallel to the beam reinforcement shall be at least 20 times the diameter of the largest longitudinal beam bar for normal weight concrete, or 26 times the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar for lightweight concrete. So para ato siya i-simplify, so atong column width daw kay greater than or equal sa atong 20 dB, which is atong dB kay makita niya sa atong sa right side kaning joint detail nato, kaning sa red mo ni atong butang nato atong longitudinal beam. So ang largest niya na diameter, so i-multiply nato siya 20 for normal weight concrete. So for lightweight concrete kay 26 dB. So ngayon based sa akong nabasa kato sa ACI, kay due to lack of specific data for beam bars through lightweight concrete joints, so gi-amplify lang ang atong normal weight concrete to 1.3. So kung 20 times 1.3 kay 26. So next slide please. So according to 418.8.2.4 sa atong NCP, depth H of the joint shall not be less than 1/2 of depth H of any beam framing into the joint and generating joint shear as part of the seismic force resisting system. So to summary, ang atong joint depth daw kay must be greater than or equal to 1/2 sa atong beam depth. So ang ginakuan sa atong sa atong sa tong joint is ang gina-specify ani na joint depth is kaning kwan bali parallel siya sa tong longitudinal beam. So kana siya na section mo na siya kaning sa right side kaning na ay nakabalang joint depth is equal to h. So mo na siya tong joint depth na yung ginapasabot. So kana siya dapat daw 1/2 siya sa tong beam depth. So at least 1/2 sa tong beam depth. So next slide please. So according to 418.8.3.1, so dari nata sa tong transverse reinforcement. So joint transverse reinforcement shall satisfy section 418.7.5.2. So katong na-discuss na kaganina sa column katong transverse reinforcement detailing requirements 418.7.5.3 katong spacing sa tong transverse reinforcement 418.7.5.4 katong amount sa atong transverse reinforcement and 418.7.5.7 katong mga additional cover and spacing katong sa more than 100 kato and except as permitted in section 418.8.3.2. So direct mo proceed. So section 418.8.3.2 where beams frame into all four sides of the joint and where each beam width is at least 3/4 the column width. So the amount of reinforcement required by section 418.7.5.4 shall be permitted to be reduced by 1/2 and the spacing required by section 418.7.5.3 shall be permitted to be increased to 150 mm within the overall depth h of the shallowest framing beam. So kani siya basically the amount of confining reinforcement may be reduced and the spacing may be increased if the beams of adequate dimension frame at least katong 3/4 the beam column width into all four sides. So balikan ni ang section na to sa 418.3.2. So ato siyang i-summarize into natay condition. So ang atong condition kay atong beams must be framed into all four sides of the joint. So kanay siya applicable sa naka-frame ang upat ka beam size sa so balik atong kanato first na to na ipakita kaganina. And atong beam, so each beam width must be at least 3/4 of the column width. So or must be greater than or equal to 3/4 of the column width. So kana dapat dili siya mo less than. So based dari sa tong figure dapat gamay gyud atong ang width sa tong beam kaysa sa tong column. And applies to transverse reinforcement and spacing of the requirement. So ang ato din siyang gi-modify. So ang ato dong amount of reinforcement required by section 418.7.5.4 shall be permitted to be reduced by 1/2. And ang atong spacing dayon kay ma-increase to 150 mm sa atong shallowest na beam. Next slide please. Ay, balik sa ito. Ay napaday sa ubos. Kaning 418.8.3.3 so longitudinal beam reinforcement outside the column core shall be confined by transverse reinforcement passing through the column that satisfies spacing requirement of section 418.6.4.4 and the requirements of section 418.6.4.2 and section 418.6.4.3 if such confinement is not provided by a beam framing into the joint. So katong na-discuss kanina sa previous reporter ang atong i-apply katong sa atong beam of special moment frames. So under transverse reinforcement gyapon, so under section 418.8.3.4 where beam negative moment reinforcement is provided by headed deformed bars that terminate in the joint, the column shall extend above the top of the joint a distance at least equal to the depth h of the joint. Alternatively, the beam reinforcement shall be enclosed by additional vertical joint reinforcement by providing equivalent confinement to the top face of the joint. So based atong sa code if ang ato daw ang naka-extend daw nato sa tong rebar sa tong longitudinal kay headed deformed bars. So ang headed deformed bars nato kay kanina sa kuan atong image. So natay threaded head, forged head o yan friction welded head. So kani silang tulo. So ang first nagingon kay if kana daw atong kuan ang atong top nato na longitudinal bar. So ang mag-extend daw to sa tong column of a height h, tapos i-confine din nato to ang katotong gi-increase na height na kuan og atong gi-increase na kuan na bars sa tong column. So ato po din siyang i-confine. So next slide please. So under shear joint capacity, so manata sa confine. So sa shear nata, so according to section 418.8.4.1, so atong nominal shear atong VN of the joint shall be in accordance with table 418.8.4.1. So ang atong 418.8.4.1 atong kana siya na table is nara kaninda sa kilid. So proceed sa section 418.8.4.2. So in table 418.8.4.1, a joint face is considered by the confined by a beam if the beam width is at least 3/4 of the effective joint width. So extensions of beams at least one overall beam depth h beyond the joint face are considered adequate for confining that joint face. So extensions of beams shall satisfy section 418.6.2b. So katong sa beams yapon nato na provisions of 418.6.3.1, 418.6.4.2, 418.6.4.3, and 418.6.4.4. So sa beams yapon to ng mga provisions. So unsa daw pasabot aning 418.4.2. So the nominal joint shear strength VN, so atong nominal shear, depends on how many joint faces are confined by beams. So based atong table natay for joint confined by beams on all four sides. So ang atong VN ana kay kaning 1.7 lambda square root of FC prime AJ. So kana siya. So where atong lambda kay katotong factor, tapos modification factor, tapos FC prime, tapos ang AJ na to ay kaning effective joint area. So which is kani siya katong tong joint H. So kato yang isa ka side, tapos ang isa din niya ka side kaya tong effective joint width. So ma-discuss nato siya later. So since for faces man to, for joint confined by beams on 3 faces or on 2 opposite faces, so ang atong gamiton na VN kay kani 1.2. Yang multiplier kay 1.2. And for other cases, ang yang multiplier kay 1.0. So beams must extend beyond the joint face by at least one overall beam depth H to provide adequate confinement. So same kaganina sa tong same gyapon kaganina sa tong column, since katong sa tong column kung headed siya ma-extend ta sa tong column by a depth H. So ang ato po daing beam, so if mag-terminate ta sa tong beam, pwede mag-extend gyapon ta by at least a depth H gyapon so sa tong beam with kuan po siya adequate na confinement. So effective joint width is equal to B plus H but not greater than B plus 2X. So mo tong ining kagay na ang atong effective joint AJ kay equal sa atong joint depth which is katong H nato multiplied by atong effective joint width which is equal to B plus H. So pero less than or equal to B plus 2X. Where ang atong X kay kaning kuan so distance sa yang faces kuan sa yang least distance sa face sa column edge sa column padong sa face sa atong beam. So always verify beams extension comply with the reference code sections. So mag-comply lang gyapon ta dito sa atong beams na ay sa tong sections na to, atong sa tong beams with special moment frames. Next slide please. So under shear joint capacity, so section 418.8.4.3, so the effective cross-sectional area within the joint, so AJ shall be calculated from joint depth times the effective joint width. So mato atong kaganina. So joint depth shall be the overall depth of the column H, and the effective joint width shall be the overall width of the column, except where a beam frames into a wider column. So effective joint width shall not exceed the smaller of A and B. So atong beam width plus the joint depth, so mato ka itong kaganina, itong B plus H. Tapos atong B is twice the smaller perpendicular distance from the longitudinal axis of beam to column side. So mato kong giingon katong kuha na to itong B plus na to 2x. So katong x na to kay kani siyang distance, perpendicular distance from longitudinal axis of beam to column side na siya. Next slide please. So dari na din ta sa development length of reinforcement. So under section 418.8.2.2, so beam longitudinal reinforcement terminated in a column shall extend to the far face of the confined column core and shall be developed in tension in accordance with section 418.8.5, so kaning development length of bars in tension, and in compression in accordance with section 425.4.9, so kaning development of deformed bars and deformed wires in compression. Next slide, please. So, darita sa development of bars in tension. So, under 418.8.5.1 for bar sizes 10 mm through 36 mm diameter terminating in a standard hook, LDH shall be calculated by equation 418.8.5.1, but LDH shall be at least the larger of 8 dB and 150 mm for normal weight concrete, and at least the larger of 10 dB and 190 mm for lightweight concrete. So based sa itong equation 418.5.1, so kaning LDH ka equal to Fy dB over 5.4 lambda squared of FC prime. So ma-recall na to, natay kuan pod mga standard na to sa itong LDH, which is makita to siya sa itong section 425 for tension bars. So katong mga gikuan na to sa una, katong mga nagyan na to, katong mga lambda, ay katong mga nay, mga psi, katong mga kaidan dito na kuan. So under joint in special moment frame, so kanilang atong LDH na gi-consider. So atong lambda is 1 for normal weight concrete and 0.75 for lightweight concrete. Tapos minimum requirement na nato. So overall atong i-consider nato sa atong normal weight concrete, atong LDH must be the largest of katong equation nato, and sa i-compare nato siya sa atong 8 dB and sa 150 mm kung kinsay pinakadakuan na mo atong LDH. Tapos for lightweight concrete nato, so katong equation nato, compare nato siya sa atong 10 dB and sa atong 190. So dari din sa side katong standard hook details din nato. So since seismic frames man ta, so kailangan natay hook. So important itong hook natay 90 and 180 degree hook. So so the embedment length of a bar with a standard hook is the distance parallel to the bar. So from the critical section, so kaning nay section dari where the bar is to be developed. So kung asa na to siya develop ng bar mo na tong critical section to a tangent drawn to the outside edge of the hook. So padulong dari sa atong kaning nay katong before magkuan L extension. So ato po ng L extension, ma-base ra po nato na siya atong standard L extension sa atong table 425.3.1 sa atong NCP. So next slide please. So according to 418.8.5.2 for headed deformed bars satisfying section 420.2.1.6, development intention shall be in accordance with section 425.4.4 except clear spacing between bars shall be permitted to be at least 3 dB or greater. So ang kani siya sa atong na discuss man to ganina atong namatay headed. So sa tong headed is pwede nga po na mo na siya katong kagina katong image kagina katong na-develop atong headed one. So ang iya din ko ang permitted nato na pan is 3 dB or greater. So to avoid congestion gyapon based akong nabasa sa ACI, sa NCP o sa SCI kay it is desirable to i-stagger nato atong mga headed deform bars sa pag-develop nato sa ila. So for kaning section 420.2.1.6 so ang details atong headed bars kay dari nato makita. So mag-conform siya sa atong ASTM A970 so para mas natong reading so ako na po ning gi-introduce kaning annex A1. So if gusto niyo mas studyan og ayo ang mga headed bars so dari nato siya makita. So next slide please. So for section 418.8.5.3 for bar sizes 10 mm to 36 mm diameter, LD, the development length in tension, so for a straight bar shall be at least the larger of A and B. So 2.5 times the length in accordance with section 418.5.1 if the depth of the concrete cast is 1 if beneath the bar does not exceed 300 mm. And sa BK, ang i-multiply lang nato siya og 3.25. So in summary katong nato kaganina katong LDH nato ang LD na nato is 2.5 times ra sa atong LDH. So if ang atong concrete cast if ang depth sa atong concrete cast kay less than 300 mm and 3.25 yang multiplier if ang concrete cast niya kay greater than 300 mm. So kaning example natay kaning tension bar so ang distance din niya padulong dadto sa atong concrete if mo na siya tong concrete cast depth. So trivial lang gyapon katong 2.5 so nahimo siyang 3.25 yang gyapon ang yang natay gitawag nga location factor. So bali if i-relate na to ni siya natay mo katong Poseidon itong R. So mo to siya tong psi R. So mo to siya atong location factor which is 1.3. So 1.3 times 2.5 mo din siya atong 3.25. So next slide please. So according to section 418.8.5.4 for straight bars terminated at a joint shall pass through the confined core of a column or a boundary element. So any portion of LD not within the confined core shall be increased by a factor of 1 of 1.6. So if ang atong development length is wala ra ni abot sa atong confined core, so increase daw nato siya to 1.6. So ang narito ginatawag nga length DM, so kaning LDM, so mo na tong required development length if bar is not entirely embedded in confined concrete. So equal siya sa 1.6 times the LD minus the LDC, which is kaning LDC na to kay length of bar embedded in confined concrete. So plus LDC yapon. So kung ato siyang i-distribute, so i-add nato ni then siya kaning negative 1.6 LDC plus LDC kay mo na din siya LDM is equal to 1.6 LD minus 0.6 LDC. So kana siya. And according to 418.8.5.5, if epoxy coated reinforcement is used, the development lengths in section 418.5.1 section 418.8.5.3 and section 418.8.5.4 shall be multiplied by applicable factors in section 425.4.2.4 or 425.4.3.2. So kani siya na table. So makita, so familiar naman ta ni na table. So kani siya. So mo ni akong gingon pud kagay na katong casting position katong psi R. So if more than 300 mm of fresh concrete placed below horizontal reinforcement is multiply nato 1.3. So mo to ka ganina itong hapan. So karon pa din if epoxy coated din siya, diri din na provision natong kuan sa epoxy kating size C. So natay kuan factor nga 1.5, 1.2 and 1. So next slide please. So lastly, development of bars in compression. So under section 425.4.9.1, so development length LDC. So for development bars and deformed wires in compression shall be the greater of A and B. So the length calculated in accordance with section 425.4.9.2 and the and 200 mm. So kaning 425.10.2 kay kanida yon. LDC shall be the greater of A and B multiplied by by the modification factors of section 425.4.9.3. So kaning A nato is bali atong LDC is equal to 0.24. So greater aning 0.24 Fy psi r over lambda times square root of Fc prime times dB and 0.043 Fy psi r dB. So kinsay mas dako sa ila mo atong LDC, and i-compare pa din nato atong LDC na greater nilang duha sa A and B to 200 mm. So kung kinsay mas dako sa ila mo atong i-follow. So and mo din ni atong table 425.4.9.3 para sa atong value sa atong lambda sa atong lightweight. If kuan ba siya normal concrete 1.0, lightweight 0.75, and kung ato rin confining reinforcement kani sa IR nato is 0.75 or 1.0. So that's all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Namokatkat. Now, do you have any questions? I will be expecting this one sa kuan ha. Akong expecting sa inyong mga detalye later on, no? Sa inyong design calculations kay para ma-apply ninyo, no? And then magkaroon sa ganyan itong deadline. Ang final exam will be next week yata, no? 18 magsugod. So kanas aka ninyo masubmit ang inyong dito na sa 23. Yes. Engineer Plaza.
Yeah, sir. Pwede na sa Saturday mag-submit, sir, no? Karong May 16.
Wala ko ana. So wala ko ana sa 22 na ko na or 23. Okay lang.
Kung 16 maka, sir.
Kung 16,
dili pwede, sir, ibilin.
Pwede naman pero basig mawala ba. Pero pwede naman siguro. Ibili na ninyo sa chat kung kitsa na dito.
Pwede ibilin sa mga
picture na yun.
Picture
sa ako.
Ang ipakita na nasubmit. Yan, ang soft copy, sir, send lang sa imong messenger, sir, no? PDF.
Yes. Engineer Bulahan?
Sige, sir. Kay 16 naman kung sir, bakante 16 lang.
Okay, sige. Thank you. Engineer Bulahan?
Sir, sa 23, sir. Yes, sir. 23 na magpasa, okay, sir.
Lagi, no? Kung mahimo unta sa 22, kay para Friday wala man kaya pala trabaho na. 21.
Tumunggo sa kagayan 22.
Sige, pagkuhan lang mo, pagsaba lang mo.
Then, sir, I asked about the bill, sir, bro. About something related with our, sir, stirrups. Na scenario, sir, kaning beam is 5 meters length. Then natay kaning column sa stairs na located at 4 meters nga kaning column stairs. Tapos naibilin nga 1 meter length. Kanang 1 meter nga beam length, sir, hindi pa ba nato na SMRF na design sa stirrups or sir?
Pwede mo ma-sketch niya mo lang i-share?
Sige.
Parang iba yung report sa kanila.
Share.
Yung report sa kanila.
Ang sama, sir.
Ang gusto, rather than so we're talking about
Meanwhile, nagkuhan pa si Engineer Bulahan. Any other questions from the group?
level-headed tayo lahat. Pero napaka-importante na
Questions?
magandang paglalaan yung Senado. You know, this is not
Nana Christian?
paging kanto na, you know, will make excuses and they're held in contempt. That's a matter of sunshine. They will pull out the NBI, but I'm sure that they have to report to their higher ups regarding if they will continue to serve or they will follow our suggestion, which is to get a warrant of arrest.
And tulong nila, sir.
Wala ko may nakita.
That's why we have to decide ano yung mga ibibigay sa committee and rules and committee public order at alam yung i-decide tonight. Kasi nga, as you know, bumoto na yung house.
I-turn off lang ko na yung camera.
But they were
Yes, sir.
allowed to come to
Yeah, share again.
allowed to arrest you here. By self-defense. I told him we have check. But ibang opinion talaga kaya mahaba. That's why we have to decide ano yung mga ibibigay sa committee and rules public order at alam yung i-decide.
Hello, Christian?
Kasi nga, as you know, bumoto na yung house. So they,
Hello, Christian?
that they were allowed to come into the Senate and allowed to by self-defense.
Madunggan ba ko ninyo? Or ako ang pilit? Or si Christian ang pilit? Anyone?
Madunggan ta ka, sir.
Ha?
Napilit, sir.
Andunggan na, sir.
Madunggan na, sir.
Si Christian siguro ni pilit. Anyway, Christian, pwede man mo ikon sa itong GC na lang, no? Nawala lagi si Christian. Any questions regarding detailings? Anyone? Wala na, kaya more than 9:30 na. Sige. Kindly go on. Open your camera, section A.
Ay, sir, din na ni madalag 25 ang para sir.
Ha?
Nagtanggal ng polling isang NBA agent para hindi siya makilala.
Di na madalag 25.
25, ano na ba?
So, I have to think to choose 20 kasi pinadala.
Monday ba pag humansa? Pwede naman siguro? Pwede naman siguro? Kaya po sila na ako na-check.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. 25 ha? Hard, paano siya? Softbound
Sir,
ha?
update naman ang kwan, sir, no? Office niyo, sir, sa Saturday, sir.
Oh, saya update na siya. Update na siya. If,
Nawalan dita, sir.
ha?
Hihina yung dita.
Mo lagi, i-post na lang dito sa tungkwan. Christian, i-post na lang sa atong GC.
Okay, sir. Ako na lang.
Sige. Mura na ang section A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. 1, 2, ready.
And ang ating
1, 2.
standby ng secretariat for the next.
Oh, wait lang ha. Wait lang.
So, three issues. Issue number one.
Ah, sarap ito tanong.
One, market relating second. Two, the market. So, let's explain to them that they will put it in writing. So, they coordinate the price, actually natin doon sila.
And then section B. Thank you, everyone. Section B na yun. B na yun.
Number two is that yung let's play that iba yung criminal because of discipline. They can defend themselves na hindi siya yung warrant. But from our point of view, pinipigilan nila siya mag-attend. And that's contempt. Kasi hindi mo pwede, hindi mo lang ipatend yung ano yung nasa device pinocode na yung parliamentary unity or whatever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Pwede naman kayo mag-attend.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Pangatlong issue na,
10.
whoever ng video is not place for that. They have to be punished. Doon naman, hindi kami pareho. Pag-finding.
Sir, kung hindi na rin ba ng paliwanag, kung hindi na rin ng paliwanag.
Engineer Mike, asa ka? Ayun. Sige ha, where are your smiles? 1, 2, ready.
So, kaya nga, ang sinabi ko yung director, I don't want to be
Ay, wala si Engineer Mike ka. 1, 2, ready.
He said. So, that's why isusulat na lang.
Mike?
I'm also giving instructions.
Pero hindi pa rin ng paliwanag, sir.
1, 2, ready.
Kasi we're still fighting. But I am sure, hindi niya pinayagan.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Kung pinayagan niya na pumasok at dito mag-arrest.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So that